Hey, it's Noodles! And it's another day, another time for another noodle story. Our first story is a post made by user throwraj123. I'm 40M, in love with an escort, 25F. 8 years ago, my wife passed away and I had a difficult time coping. Eventually, I tried online dating but went nowhere. I started seeing an escort and she was amazing. We really connected on an emotional as well as physical level. I've seen her at least once a week for the past 5 years. I feel like we've grown close over this time and she's opened up to me as well. She's told me her real name, Elle. I've been to her actual condo. She's told me her reasons for becoming an escort. We talk about her family, and I've even taken her on a vacation several times. We text daily, we've talked about her school and her career, and this is what is messing me up. I feel a strong connection. The problem for me is that she's now done school and is ready to move back home to begin her career and quit being an escort. She told me all this during Christmas. She bought me a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. What the She said, it was a thank you for being a great client all these years. And she said she is gonna miss me. She said that even though I was a client, I always made her feel special. She said she is gonna miss venting to me and appreciated me always listening to her. She said she is planning on making the move this spring. I'm mentally preparing for it, but don't know if I can handle it. I think I am in love with her. I want to tell her this. I want to tell her I love her and she means everything to me. I really think she has feelings too, but I don't know. Maybe she's really good at her job. It's probably a long shot, but I'd love to be in a real relationship with her. Hell, I'd even relocate with her. Should I tell her I love her? I'm 40, no kids. I don't have a lot of close friends. All I have is my career. What do I have to lose? I don't know. Then again, if this is all just a part of her job as an escort, I don't want to make her feel awkward. Too long didn't watch. In love with an escort. She's quitting and moving away. Do I tell her my feelings? Oh, I wonder what she'll feel when Opie confesses. As a romantic person myself, I also don't think it'll be easy for me to hold back my feelings in such a situation. Though, I see how the escort might feel awkward after a confession, considering their professional nature. This reminds me of that one guy in this anime, where he rented a girlfriend and also fell in love with her. Spoiler, they're still not together. Anyways, let's continue with the story. Update, I'm 40M, in love with an escort, 25F. So, I told her how I felt. We had another amazing time this weekend. We were cuddling in bed and looking at potential homes for her when she moves back. She seemed very excited about her future. At this point, I wasn't going to say anything. She seemed so excited about her future that I didn't want to ruin the moment. As we were about to fall asleep, she said that she's going to miss this. I asked her to explain, and she said she's going to miss snuggling with me, miss my massages, hair play, and chatting and hanging out in bed. So then I told her. I told her how amazing a person she was, and how I was excited for her future too. I said that she positioned herself to get everything she wanted out of life. I thanked her for everything she has done and how important she had been to me over the years. I said I have developed deep feelings for her and asked her if we can see each other once she retires. I asked her if I can take her out on a real date afterwards. Her response, I care about you too, but let's not complicate things right now and enjoy our remaining time together. She fell asleep shortly thereafter while I was up all night with my heart breaking. The next morning, I apologized for making things weird. She said it's fine and she understands and not to worry about it. She seemed to be taking this all so calmly and casually, like it didn't affect her at all. Meanwhile, I'm dying inside. Before I left, she recommended a friend of hers who is an escort that I can see once she retires. Ouch. This was Sunday. For the next few days, it was weird. Usually, we text all the time. She'd send me cute pics and stuff. But there was barely any communication. Then, I receive an email. She tells me that I have been an important part of her life too, and I've helped her grow throughout the years. She says that she has feelings too, but are unsure of what they are exactly. Somewhere along the way, the lines were blurred, and she said it was her fault for letting that happen. She doesn't want to explore those feelings because she has to move on with her life. She says it will never work because there are so many obstacles to overcome, mainly the fact that she will be living across the country. She says she is open to being friends, but isn't even sure about that as it might complicate things. She suggested that we take a break from seeing each other for a while. I replied and apologized again for making things weird. I told her that she was special and I will support whatever she wants to do. Well, I am absolutely destroyed. I mean, I knew this probably wasn't going to end well, but I don't know how I'm going to get over this heartbreak. I don't know if I'll ever see her again. What am I going to do now? No one wants to be a broken down 40-year-old man. For her, I am happy she is starting a new life. She will be successful in her new career, get married, and start a family. I was delusional to think that it could have been with me. I want to thank everyone for the kind words and support. As for the ones with the negative comments or who have attacked me in my DMs, it doesn't matter to me. Nothing that you say can make me feel any worse than I already do. Maybe it's time for some professional help, or I should just go see that other escort. Wow, I was actually expecting that outcome. If I were OP, I'd start dating for real instead of hiring escorts. Or just what he said, getting a therapy. I think OP needs an emotional connection with another woman instead of sexual satisfaction only. This might also not sit well for some, but I also think escort's age is not appropriate for OP. She has a lot to achieve in life and her career. She's so young. Nonetheless, I'm happy escort is focusing on her life. Though it may be hard, OP should definitely move on. So, speaking of moving on, let's move on to the next story. This post was made by username Pristine Librarian 31. I handed him divorce papers today over his Reddit account and a bag of chips. Obviously, it goes without saying, it wasn't just a bag of chips, but hot Cheetos were my breaking point. I couldn't take it anymore. I had already had the terms of separation drawn up 6 months ago, when during a heated argument, he said, "We don't have kids. You should be thankful it's only me you clean up after." I kept hearing it in my head. Thankful? For cleaning up behind a grown man 10 years older than me? He apologized the next day in detail and told me why what he said was wrong and that he doesn't believe it. But maybe it's just out of my character. But I don't think the things you say in those moments are just hurtful words. Little bit of truth in them. And then I found his Reddit account a few days ago. I accidentally saw the username when he showed me a screenshot. I tried, lol, not really, not to memorize it, and it took me 2 days to get the courage to look. In between the comments on NSFW subreddits was complaints about me and posts about me too. One post, he'd be ripped to shreds and told he was a piece of crap. Reading those comments made me realize I was nothing but a fucking idiot to think love can fix things. I was 20 when I met him, and he was 35. I thought people were being dramatic or annoying about our age gap because my single father who raised me didn't have an issue. But then I realized he was just the same type of creep. It was almost like my father pre-groomed me to accept certain behavior to make it easier for the other men in my life. I'm getting off topic, but I came home early today after a rough day at work and finding out my direct reporting manager had been K-worded by her husband. Then walked in the door to see my lazy, filthy one. I told him what happened to her. I started to cry. He didn't console me. He said, "We don't know what made him do that. Let's wish both of them luck and move on with our day." Wish her luck? The dead lady? I tried to convince myself. He just didn't pay attention. That soothed me for about an hour. Until I was in the middle of making dinner and he complained that it was already 6:45 p.m. I told him he shouldn't be that hungry yet. He just ate half a bag of chips and left them on the table. So instead of A, helping me finish dinner, B, apologizing and waiting silently and patiently, C, finishing the bag of chips, or D, just laughing it off, he threw the bag of chips at me. 7 years together, 4 married. And he's never done anything that's downright rude because low self-esteem aside, that's something that won't fly with me either way. The chips landed all over the floor I had just mopped and swept. Whatever glare I gave him, it was enough to make him grab the broom in 30 seconds. It wasn't enough to make him at least check that it was all swept up and vacuumed after. So when I finished dinner and brought our plates to the dinner table, thinking, wow, I really spoil him. The entire time we have dated, I've always made his plates and brought them right to him. No one has ever done that for me. And I stepped on a chip. It didn't hurt or anything, but I screamed. Not sure why. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran to the home office and came back out with the papers and pen, put them in front of his dinner plate and walked out while he was yelling my name. I'm killing a burger and fries in my car right now and realizing I have to start all over. My life is done. My love for him is too. I hope I don't cave. I hope I don't let him convince me. I hope if I start to change my mind, I come back and read this post so that I understand this is not a heated decision. This is something I need to do if I ever want anything like a real fucking life. Wow, I'm proud of OP for finally walking out. I see how it is hard to leave someone you have spent so much of your life with. It ain't that easy to let go of things, people especially, when you grow so attached, comfortable, and accustomed to them for so many years. They've been part of you and your daily life, and I see how hard it is to let go from that. Anyway, OP has another update, so let's listen to it. Relevant comment. In reply to a heartfelt comment of a woman who went through a similar experience. I'm genuinely so happy to hear things got better for you. It feels almost like, hopefully, future me writing to current me, especially regarding bodies. I didn't include it, but the reason the burger and fries was so rewarding is that he always persuaded me not to eat it because I'd get fat and he wouldn't love me anymore. So, even if I asked for a burger, he would order a grilled chicken sandwich or something. Thank you sincerely for your words. Seeing these and other comments from women who went through the same is helping me so much right now. I really was just posting so I could leave for good this time. I'm sorry that my post isn't very concise or thorough, but this isn't the first time I have left him. It's the fourth, but it's the one for good. I'm done. I've been saving money since I left the first time 2 years ago. I'm not trapped with him anymore. When I left the second time, I knew being a housewife would never give me leverage in our relationship, so I got a job. Back then, it was just to even the playing field and show him I can earn my keep. Now, it's literally my saving grace. Half our relationship was built on lies. He told me he was 8 years older at first, then 10. Then, the truth of it, being 15 came out. That I've always tried to get over, because people deserve forgiveness, according to my dad. The only person I ever went to besides Reddit about advice. I just want to know what peace is like in my own home. I went straight from living with my dad to living with my boyfriend/current husband. I can comfortably take blame for how my marriage is, how my life is. My dad may have conditioned and started a lot of it, but I'm old enough to have put my foot down a long time ago. My husband and my father being the only two men I have ever had any type of relationship at 27 is my own fault. Sure, I was taught growing up that when men are around, don't make eye contact and keep my head down. And I did it always because good girls listen is what I was taught and all I ever knew. How did the wave of feminism keep missing me? How did I allow my father to push away every close female relationship I had? How did I allow both of them to alienate me from the world? 2 years ago, a woman my age, I think, asked for a tampon in the bathroom, and I gave her one and we had a 5-minute conversation of girl talk that I gushed over. I played it over and over for months until I realized it was absolutely insane. All she did was ask me what my favorite coffee order was and said I was pretty and she loved my handmade earrings. I had an extra pair in my car and gave them to her and she hugged me. That was it. But I held on to those 5 minutes because it was the last time I had an interaction with a human being that didn't leave me feeling empty. I should have left for good when he told me that getting a master's degree is for men. I should have left when I picked up woodworking and simple robotics as hobbies and he told me that I might be transgender and that he could be attracted to a woman that wants to be a man. I'm not trans or transphobic. I just like the smell of freshly sawed wood and making new things. I should have left when I got accepted in the best university in the state and he told me that women would be happier if they stopped trying to compete with men. I should have left when my dad died and told me I wasn't upset enough about the man who would choke me over burning food and dinner not being good at 11 years old. Our relationship got considerably worse after the wedding when I told him everything my dad had done. I should have left when I got groped at a concert and he bought the guy a drink later. I should have left when his friends said things about my body and he just joined in and later told me I shouldn't complain and enjoy the attention while it lasts. I should have left when I told him I wasn't sure if I wanted kids and he told me I wasn't a real woman if I didn't want them. I should have left when he admitted to having his fellow officers follow me and show up to my job to make sure I was actually where I said I was. I should have left when he gave me the silent treatment for a month when I told him it was controlling and would only communicate via sticky notes. I should have left when I caught him sending nudes to a 19-year-old. I definitely should have left him when the same girl replied to his nude photos with telling him how much of a loser he is and saying she felt bad for his wife. Besides being predatory, that one was quite frankly just embarrassing. I guess the reason I stayed so long is that he makes it seem like he's trying. After I caught him sexting, he immediately signed up for sex addict therapy. When he said things that were hateful towards women, I would then see videos in his YouTube watch history about unlearning sexism, watched all the way through. I would think, hey, at least that's way more than my dad ever did. Hey, at least he doesn't hit me. Hey, at least he brings me flowers and takes me on dates often. Men are just like that, I was told. Men have to be respected, I was told. Your husband deserves full trust, I thought. To this day, I'm not sure if he did these to please me temporarily or because he meant it and at least half tried. I made the mistake of not leaving at least 100 times. I will never make that mistake again. He texted and called nonstop after I left. I went back to our home, his house, to get necessities with headphones on, and he came out of nowhere and snatched them off my head and destroyed them. AirPod Maxes I just bought. I just kept packing and ignored everything he said until I realized my passport was gone. He won't admit it, but he 100% has it. I know it. He wouldn't sign the papers. We argued a bit and I finally just said it. I don't love you anymore. I can't love someone like you. I am a grown woman now and I don't want to be with you anymore. He countered with, you can't survive without me. I'm the only one who's ever loved you. You don't have anything without me. I'm the breadwinner. This is my house. You have no money, no family, no friends. He's only right about the last two. I told him that we don't have a prenup and if we divorce with him fighting me on it, I'll get half of everything. But if he signs the papers I gave him, it agrees to leave him the house and all furniture, 3 of 4 cars, and 80% of the money in our savings and investment. I can walk away and start over. I want to walk away and start over. He, on the other hand, probably needs a retirement plan that isn't young women. It's more than he deserves, but I don't want to look at anything I have and be reminded of him. When he realized the yelling and threats won't work, he tried tears. And I almost caved. Then I remembered he was 42 years old on his knees, crying about a 27-year-old that just wanted to be treated with love, dignity, and respect. I gave him close to a decade of my life, of nothing but loyalty and love. When he lashed out in anger, I responded with love. I'm all out of love. I picked a random Airbnb over state lines, so he has little pull here and my job is allowing me to work remotely for now. I can already see a life that's actually worth living coming to me. I have a lot of legal stuff to figure out that will be a headache, but it's still a smaller headache than loving him was. I don't think I'll go back. Opie, whoever you are, I'm so proud of you. I know you won't cave in. You will never cave in. I hope you don't blame yourself for anything though. Trauma works that way. I hope Opie can go to therapy to unpack all these trauma accumulated through the years. Thanks for listening today again, everyone. And again, special thanks to Charat for enabling me to make my own OC. See you guys again on our next story time. Bye!